Nigeria Info FM. So I may sound a bit off today. Please bear with me. It's still the weather thing I told you about. My name is Denise Swallow, and I am excited to be here with you, sharing this space with you. And guess what? It's the last day of the month of November. Yo, 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 yo. Oh, by the time we get to hear ourselves, by this time tomorrow, we are going to be in the terrible month of December. Y'all, you know what's up. So permit me to say happy December in advance. How are you doing? How's your mind? How's your body? And how is your soul? So it's time to have conversations, right? From now up until the 1 o'clock hour before trending stories, we'll be talking about behavioral patterns, but some way, somehow find a way to link it to culture and customs. So the conversation is behavioral patterns and cultures, all right? Head on to X. Our X handle is at Nigeria Info PH. Our Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Join the conversation also on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM _PH. I'll share a story with you, but then again, remember the popular saying, when in Rome, behave as the Romans? That is what this conversation is centered around. Now that 1 o'clock, we'll come back, round up this conversation after trending stories, and thereafter it will be time for the All On Power Energy program. That takes us up until 2. Then we'll have the news update at 2, and the final hour, it will be time for Mind, Body, and Soul. Sometime last week, when we're having the TJF show, we talked about playing, right? But time did not permit us to look at the benefits of playing, so that is what it will be centered around. The Mind, Body, and Soul for today will be centered around. And that is it on the sunny side today. So without further ado, shall we begin? I think we shall.
Different ideologies
and different perspectives.
Share your views on the sunny side.
92.3.
Is a popular saying indicating that when you're in land, follow the customs of those who live in it. It can also mean that when you are in an unfamiliar situation, you should follow the lead of those who know the ropes. Simply put, behave as others behave. That is not the time to want to say, no! We don't do like that where I come from. Who knows? If there's something unfortunate that will happen to you by virtue of not, doing as others do, then it will definitely happen to you. However, you see, this may be a difficult pattern or approach to some individuals. Do I have to really behave like the Romans when in Rome? What happens to behaving like where I am coming from? To sort of indicate or establish my presence there. What about if the way the Romans behave are not in tandem with how the people from my end behave? What happens to if the people from my end or from my area or from my part of life see it as an offense to behave the way the Romans behave, and such offenses may come with some level of penalty? Now, I'll give you a practical example. The NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps, was created for the purpose of integration, having people from one end of the country go and mix with other end of the country. We were supposed to foster unity, as it were. So, that is the more reason why when you're going to fill the form, You're going to have to answer questions like where and where have you traveled to? They want to ensure that they are placing you to a place that you have never been to. That's the idea, really. But yes, is it possible that some way, somehow people have done some things to be able to serve in choice states and choice places? The answer is yes. But now there is this thing that is popular with the NYSC. There is a uniform for corps members. The khaki and the white. I have seen stories of ladies who were part of the scheme who, because of their religious background, refused to wear the khaki trouser. They said no. They would rather wear khaki skirts. How many of you have seen such stories? Yes, I have. Years ago, there was one particular one that was trending, that she had to wear a skirt. She was one of some religious denomination, some church like that. So she insisted that she would wear a skirt. But was that the uniform issued? Was that the appropriate uniform? It was trousers for both male and female. And to think of that, the person who birthed the idea of the NYSC was sort of a Muslim. He probably understood to a large extent why that was the choice uniform. For example, when you're in camp, you would have to go through some rigorous trainings, martial arts, all them climbing on those ropes. I've forgotten what they are called now. So it seemed appropriate. If you're in the military, whether you're male or female, to a large extent, you would have to wear trousers. I have seen female police officers wear skirts. There is that option. But I don't think I have ever seen someone in the army wear a female, I don't know, I'm not sure, I wouldn't want to say it, but top of my head, I can't remember. But I'm just telling you how some things are created in a particular manner, and everyone that wants to pass through that channel has to pass through conforming to that particular standard. So more reason why it was off that some people would choose to wear skirts and some people would choose to wear hijab with their uniforms, their NYSC uniforms. Now that's on one hand. Now there's a story I came across about an essay competition. I think it was arranged by a UBA Foundation Nigeria. It's a UBA Foundation Nigeria National Essay Competition. So after the competition, awards were presented, and a certain Khadija Abdulhamid Husna from Swift Haven High School, Kano State, rejected a handshake from Oliver Alawoba, the CEO of United Bags of Africa. She finished as the first runner-up at the finals, but at the point of presentation of our award, you see, every other student shook hands. But when it was time for hers to be presented by the bank CEO, Khadija refused to thrust her hands out. She held her hands down while the CEO's hand was hanging mid-air, waiting for a reciprocal gesture from the award winner. She could not also look straight into the eyes of the CEO. She kept looking down, straight at the floor, as one who was either shy or timid. Now I wondered why. And guess what? In her defense, it was forbidden by her religion. My religion forbids this handshake. But this is a competition. I'm not sure your religion forbade you partaking or participating in the said competition. Now, if you win a competition and for some reason you emerge a winner, yes, there is that handshake, a congratulatory handshake for doing well as your award presentation. So why didn't you shake hands? That's a question of when in Rome, behave as the Romans do. And that is why I'm also asking this afternoon, is it in every situation that we are expected to adopt the when in Rome, do as the Romans do patterns? Are there exceptions to it? Are there times when it is clearly inappropriate to do as the Romans do? Are there times when it is permissible that you must not do as the Romans do. You must not conform with the patterns or the happenings. You must not conform with the attitudes of other people within that same situation. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0002. We also have 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number for your WhatsApp and Telegram messages is 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. Now, a call screener is in standby to take your calls first before passing you on to me in the studio. So when you do call, the first voice you would hear would not be this voice, obviously, but that of the call screener. Do comply, because in due time you'll be passed over to me in the studio and we would have the conversation. Is it in every situation that we are expected to adopt the when in Rome, do as the Romans do pattern, or are there exceptions? I have Chijindu. I'm not sure where Chijindu is calling from. Iwafe. All right, Chijindu, good afternoon to you and welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. I want to actually talk about the girl refusing the handshake.
Okay.
I want to know, like, is it that your religion did not teach you to win? I don't know, because let's say you were going for the competition, you were not supposed to win. Because if they knew you were going to win, they would have thought what to do when the handshake comes up.
Oh, really? Okay. I get you. I think I understand what you're talking about now.
So
yes,
like
I get
us,
you.
Don't shake.
Okay.
Also tell us that we are not going to win. So you're going there not to win. So if anything comes up, you are not among those that will shake. So why learn how to greet?
Okay.
So sometimes I think when you go to behave like Romans, I think I like it too. But to an extent, you don't have to be static. You try to adjust some kind of thing. I see those people as some persons who are religious bondage.
Religious bondage. Okay, now you have pointed something pretty significant. It's the same way sometimes people make reference to the Bible in certain situations. Even in conversations on Nigeria Info, people just find a way to bring the Bible into it.
Okay.
But you will agree with me that with the current happening, some things are not totally captured in the Bible. Yes. It just takes some level of common sense or some level of, I don't know, spirituality, or, for instance...
I believe if those that wrote the Bible were to be alive, they will make some adjustments too.
They will make some adjustments. So, okay, for instance, now,
definitely
these days,
now are not there then.
Because these days we have people that want to be joined in holy matrimony, required to carry out certain tests. And those tests were never captured in the Bible. I'm not sure there was anybody that wanted to get married at the time that they say, okay, go and do HIV test, or go and do this.
Adjustments should be made.
Adjustments should be made. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So whatever the norms, the rules, or the customs that a particular people live by, adjustments should be made in tandem with the current reality. That is Chidinju's proposition. So that's what he has to say. What do you have to say? I think I forgot to add this part. I love it when you listen. Trust me, it gives me great joy to know that you listen. But I also enjoy it more when you are a part of a conversation. All right, so hit me up 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number once again. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, is 0809 030 6416. Zion is calling from Jerry. Good afternoon to you, Zion. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Those who promulgate this behavioral pattern to us, they fail the concept of our culture and tradition.
Okay.
To some extent, some organizations are now getting it right by bringing in, harmonizing our culture and tradition to their behavioral pattern. For instance, those who have written WAEC, you are not permitted to use broken English. Sorry, the pidgin, not broken English. Pidgin in writing of essays.
Okay.
But as in 1986, it was adopted. You can now use the pidgin at least one or two sentences in writing your essay when you are writing WAEC. One very good of a blessed memory, Nobel laureate, Things Fall Apart. In his work, So Not Things Fall Apart, Chike and the River. I should be in chapter 4. I think when Chike went to Asaba, he used a line in pidgin. Oga, Namigo, wash your cow. The truth is this. If we keep removing our culture and tradition from behavioral terms, we will go our son, and even so we go in it. Because we cannot bring them in. We cannot harmonize them in the day-to-day activities. That is why today, amidst all the big grammar you're blowing on radio, wherever, professionals like yourself,
Okay.
stand to be corrected, which is what the Wazobia FM.
Okay. Okay.
Because of what the pidgin is what we speak here. It's like our common language. And we speaking English, those people who don't understand the correct English may not understand the news on the other hand. Growing up as a child on the River State, the media houses in River State, the television, they normally have what they call the pidgin belt, where they also speak our local languages, telling the news. So today, do it because we travel America and do it with our culture. The attitude we are going to borrow, are they not human beings like us? That is why, to a large extent, some people don't even welcome the white wedding anymore. The tradition and the cost, starting from like Mr. Zion.
Okay.
We cannot keep borrowing people's culture and tradition, calling them a behavioral pattern, call our own tradition.
Okay. So in a nutshell, Mr. Zion, is it in every situation that we're expected to adopt the when in Rome, do as the Romans do pattern? Yes or no?
In every situation, yes.
In every situation, yes. All right then.
In every situation, yes.
Thank you so much, Zion. Muriel is calling from Okrike. Hi, Muriel. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Thank you. Denise, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Muriel. How do you do?
I'm good. Thank you, Denise.
All right. Talk to me.
Denise, you see, if a person loves his or her religion so much, and you believe that the next person's religion, you don't really see any good in it, or you think maybe they are too careless, or maybe you don't really align yourself to that person's religion. Then what prompts you? Why are you participating in activities that comes from that kind of religion that you know that you cannot align yourself with? You know, now a religion that stops you from shaking the opposite sex, having a handshake with the opposite sex, will allow you to be touched by the opposite sex. Now, you can take lecture from the opposite sex. Yes, if you want to give you a handshake, refuse, it's against your religion. So automatically, I think most times people don't really understand what religion is. You know that this person is running up this scholarship scheme or this activity is a Christian, and they go by it with their, according to their plans. In Christianity, we don't really take things much. Even though the Bible says, give Caesar to Caesar, I have not seen in the Bible where the Bible says, when you get to a room, behave like humans. That is just a saying that people brought up. But the Bible says, even Jesus said, give Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
And that was when the disciples had asked if they are supposed to pay tax.
Yes. And the Bible, and Jesus allowed them and told them that you should. That's why as Christians, we take the laws of government seriously. Even though we believe in the Bible and we adhere to the ethics and the rules in the Bible. And we quote. So you know that this person is bringing up this scheme, you want to benefit from it. And you are of the opposite other religion, and you want to benefit from a Christian religious person, as a person that practices Christianity, where all its activities will be rolled out, in that space, in that line. You don't love that religion, and yet you want to work in that organization, where the owner of the organization is a Christian. And you know that it's free. He will do everything according to his religion, as free as it comes. But yet, you claim to be a religious fanatic. So, you see the pictures. It's like a double face. It's like, there's a word that I can't even hold on to that word. So, I don't think people are really religious. Just a face.
Hold on, Muriel. Hold on, Muriel. Now, I have been to Okrika. I think I have been to. I'm trying to remember the part of Okrika I have been to. Now, there are several things that you people have and practice as your tradition that is peculiar to you. You have your rites of passage, tradition, and everything. And I say, okay, I want to live in Okrika. I want to start doing business in Okrika. I want to be some way sort of patronized by people living in Okrika. Do I have to do everything or practice everything that is being done and practiced in Okrika?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nobody will force you. If the Okrika people are maybe practicing a pattern, a religious pattern, nobody will force you. You can live and flourish in that land without necessarily converting or doing their exercises. When they want to do masquerade, nobody forces you to come out. If you want to come out and enjoy it, free. Okay. But if you don't want to come out, nobody will force you. You are free. If people are practicing a shrine, people go to their shrines, you are not forcing you to go there. But if you like it, if a person that has a shrine comes out and say, okay, they want to give scholarship to 3 students in a particular school, and you attend that school, but yet you don't believe in that religion, that traditional religion, why are you coming up to play? Why are you coming up to contest? When you don't like the religion.
All right.
You shouldn't contest. You want to gain the prize, but you don't like the religion. You don't like the stuff.
All right. I think I get your point now. I have a message on Facebook, and this one is from Jones Peace, and it reads, if you don't want to behave like the Romans, then don't go to Rome. I also have another one from Udoka. When in Rome, do in Romans pattern, of course. Only black African can do that. Indian women are one of the most successful people in Europe and America, especially in Britain. You can never see them get influenced by Western culture. You can never see them disrespect their husbands. But Nigerian women will go abroad. After some time, they will call police for their husbands and kick them out of their house because that's the culture there. The Indians still keep their religion, their culture, their method of dressing, what we lack here. Love Day from on air. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Love Day. Go ahead.
For the lady that refused the handshake, I think that is a good one.
Okay.
If the laws are binding us to this country, if all the laws are obeyed, I don't think we will have any problem in this country. So anybody who is opportune or anybody who obeys the law, I think is a good one. The law that governs their particular religion. Laws are meant to be obeyed.
Okay, Lovely, I'm not sure I understand you, but are you reacting to the lady or are you reacting to the overall question, which is it in every situation that we're expected to adopt the when in Rome, do as the Romans do pattern, or are there exceptions?
All I'm saying is when you're in Rome, behave like the Rome. It does not apply to all cases.
Okay.
So, for the guy that is a good one, laws are meant to be obeyed.
Laws are meant to be what?
To be obeyed.
Okay.
So I think the good one for the guy using handshake based on the fact that is against their religious belief.
But Lovely, assuming there's a limit to the jurisdiction of the law, like I also gave an example of the NYSC the core member who chose to wear skirt instead of the uniform as designed and stipulated by the service corps.
That is why I said it does apply, but not in all cases.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have this one from Anonymous, and it reads, the only positive for me was showing me physical proof. Is this for me? Okay, it really depends. I have learned that if I resist the status quo in a place I enter, there's always a reason, even if I can't see the why. A bit of background, I'm a very don't bother me, I won't bother you introvert. But I keep getting into certain situations and it's like a knot will just go off in my brain. I'll ask a question or say something that makes sense to me and it will trigger an issue because it will later come out that many people were afraid to ask or say that very thing or they hadn't even thought about it before. While I don't go about trying to be rude, looking to cause problems or hoping to trigger a revolution, I truly don't believe that we should carry on with harmful or useless things and say, na so he done dey since. Yeah, na so he done dey since. That's what we did do for here. This is how we do it here. If you want to stay here, you have to do it here. Like that, here. There is something that is peculiar to us in Nigeria Info that will be turning down the volume of your radio set when you choose to call. And it is for a reason. It is not in any way to not want to hear from you. I'll talk more about.
Are you into business and sales or offer any sort of service? Looking to connect with the public and potential clients? Then visit the sales and marketing team at our head office, AIM Complex, Kilometer 16, East West Road, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Call us on 0809 993 0147. Come, let's connect you to the world. Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Hey!
But it is something that some people have experienced time and again. They find it difficult to adopt that particular approach. They sometimes seemingly have to quarrel or have to fight or have to go against the norm in a particular place. It's okay to question why things have been in a certain way. However, there are people that have been in that same system. They have been used to that pattern. Now, so then they do them for there. They do not have a problem with it. If you want to be part of whatever is in existence there, do you revolt or do you just simply adapt? Another message here says, so growing up in Nigeria was tough for me because I grew up in an era and environment where people protected status quo over truth. There was a point where people would say, no man will marry you. Weirdly enough, when my husband told elders of his town about me, one of the questions they asked him is if I am stubborn and how I react to certain things. He was afraid but thought, let me just say the truth. If I say she's not and she enters house, she won't be able to hide her nature even if I ask her to pretend, and it will cause an issue I could have avoided by telling the truth. But they were like, she's definitely the one we're looking for. Let's go and pay her bride price. This one says, good afternoon, Denise. I think the action of the girl was hypocritical. If you don't like the sauce, then don't go for the price as well. I have been to places of worship. It was required of me to cover my hair. In all honesty, in my place of worship, we don't cover our hair. It's dependent on you if you want to, but it's not compulsory. I was asked to go and get handkerchief to cover my hair, and I obliged. I have also been to other places of worship, and they said they don't want you to cover your hair with a handkerchief. They were going to give you their own hair tie to cover the hair. And for me, I did not know the source of the hair tie. I wouldn't just have it on my head. And I declined. Did I enter? I simply waited outside for when the service was over. And I saw whoever I needed to see or whoever invited me. I just had to register my presence some way, somehow. Would I start fighting with the people and say, no, I must enter here. This is the place of worship. Let us come back to this after trending stories. Keep your thoughts coming. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416.